Hello. Oh, yes, I'm feeling a little better. I probably shouldn't have went live earlier today. I was just not in the right frame of mind. I was dealing with some personal issues, computer issues, and I was looking at the time and I was frustrated because I should have been up hours prior to. Um, yeah, I was in Jay's thing, and first of all, I would like to address that, and I actually texted Jay. To explain if she wants to respond back or not. But I never bashed her publicly. I don't know where she got that from. I actually responded to her in a private Twitter message that she brought publicly, you know. So I'm not even going to get into it because I actually sent her an email and asked her that I'd like to clear the air with her. So we'll see how that works out and if that's responded to. And for the moderators, anybody that has smart comments, I'm done playing with them. I don't even care to time them out. Just go ahead and block them. We're not going to deal with the drama here. This is a drama-free zone. There's enough channels out there to deal with drama that they can be there if that's what they so choose to do. That's perfectly fine. Here, Lori Davis, let me help you. I'll just go ahead and block you. You can unsubscribe. So there we go. Just because, I do value all my, paid subscribers, I will not have them. I think I might have just unsubscribed from you. Hold on a second. I think I might have just blocked you. Sorry, Lori. I thought you were saying something else. I may have blocked you and I don't know how to unblock you. So thank you. I please write something. Lori, write something. I think I accidentally blocked you. Oh, crap. I think I blocked Lori. Hold on. I don't even know how to unblock people on YouTube. This is ridiculous. I got Anissa. I got to unban somebody from your YouTube channel. Let me figure out how to do this.
When advertising on YouTube, I know that making an authentic video with a clear call to action is the key.
You got to go to a YouTube.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
A YouTube channel to figure out how to unblock somebody. This is insanity. This is insanity. I think, Lori, don't be mad at me. I think I blocked you, and I don't know how to unblock you. I don't know how to unblock somebody that's blocked. Oh, maybe I can just go to settings. Hold on. Yes. Shit. Well, I got to do Anissa, and let me just see if I can go in here and just unblock somebody. Let me go to my YouTube studio. This is just, they should make it easier. I mean, if you block somebody, they should make it easier for you to be able to unblock somebody, right? I mean, I would think so, but apparently it's not that easy. Hold on, let me go to my channel. No. Eligibility, no. Upload, no. General, maybe? No. Community, maybe? All right, there's my moderators. Shit. Hidden users. Oh, crap. How do I find the people that are blocked? Can somebody find me an easy way to unblock somebody? I think I accidentally blocked somebody, and I'm pretty sure I did, and I can't find them on here. Maybe I should read my notes. Betty, I emailed you. Okay, thank you. Let me go to my emails. I blocked Lori Davis by accident. She's probably going to be pissed, but what can I do? Put it in the effort bucket, right? Check it in the bucket. Oh my goodness. What a freaking day I've already had. Let's see. Content. Yeah. That's okay. Teddy Bear. That's okay. I got your email. I'm trying to figure out how to unblock. So we'll see how that all works. Rhonda, I do too. I wish it would all stop, but it's one set of people that are a small team that are attacking YouTubers on the Summer Wells case because they have this contract, an actual contract with Don Wells to deal with him. So that is pretty, to me, is pretty sick. Okay, Lori's back. Okay, great. Sorry about that. Lori, I'm really sorry. Where are you? Okay, good. Okay, good. So, and I still need to find a way to get Anissa back. I don't know if Anissa was blocked somehow. And okay, good. So Anissa, it needs to be unblocked as well. And I don't know how to unblock Anissa. I went there to try to yeah, Voice for Hope. I do believe. Hopefully, Don is going to jail soon. I don't know. Like, subscribe, and share this page. Just give her a wrench. Okay, let me see. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me get in here. Sorry, guys. I'm a little all over the place. I do apologize. It's okay though. You know, I mean, we do have, let's see, where are you? I need to give Anissa a freaking wrench as well. There you are. There you go. Okay. So if those know how to unblock people, please go unblock Anissa. I don't know how to do it. I'm having issues with that. I am very thankful. Thank you, Miss Robin. I am very thankful for, Jay is for Justice bringing out and calling into question Benny's motives. That was really cool of her. Although she did try to say that I publicly came after her. I don't recall that I publicly came after her because I really don't publicly go after anybody other than the people that attack me. I did send her and blocked her on Twitter, which I will be unblocking her soon. But thank you. Thank you so much, Angel. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're a sweetheart. Thank you. It's been a rough day for me, to say the least. Let's see here. I can only unblock the users. Okay. Well, look for Anissa, Anissa. If you can unblock Anissa, that would be great. I'd like to know how to unblock Anissa because I heard that she's blocked and she doesn't need to be blocked. At any rate, I had a tiff with JS for Justice. So here, let me just publicly come out and say what the issue was. I misread an email or a text message or a message of some sort. I misread it. It was my fault. So, there's been some considerable time that's going by. I do know JS for Justice. I did, speak to her and met her when I was doing Gabby Petito. And I felt enough time had gone by. There's, thank you. Thank y'all. You're so sweet, Angel. I appreciate it. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need the hugs. I tell you, I was on the phone with Olivia. One of those days, I don't know if I ever told you guys, in the past, but, our team, especially the girls like Olivia, Mom, and myself, we go through a lot of, like Jonathan's kind of hardened, right? He's, I'm looking at the super sticker from Angel. You're cracking me up. Thank you. And so anyways, we go through a lot of ups and downs with these cases. It's very emotional work for the cases. And it's hard, and sometimes we are ready to give up. We are ready to say, this is just not worth it. We're fighting a never ending battle, especially on Summer Wells. There's so much hate toward the people that are trying to bring Summer Wells' name to the spotlight and really trying to do good. We're called clout chasers. We're called, scam artists and stuff like that. And these are the people that actually scammed people out of thousands of dollars. They're hiding behind each other while they're perpetrating these crimes on the community that really love and embrace Summer Wells and really are out there investigating the case, not being blinded by some loyalty to other criminals. We are truly going out there and trying to look. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So anyways, so I misread it. I misread a text. Thank you. I'll go back to thank you. Thank you. My head is, thank you. So, it was a misread of a text and I sent her a private text Twitter message and blocked her on Twitter. It was private. It wasn't public. I didn't take a picture of it, a screenshot, and post it for the world to see. And as a matter of fact, shortly thereafter, she brought it up on her channel. It wasn't me that publicly broadcasted it. And I may have said, when just like with some of the other people that have ticked me off in recent past, I may have said one little thing or two little things in a live. But as you know, you guys can go back through all my lives. I got like 120 of them on. And I never once hijacked my lives to bash another person on. That's just not me. It was never me. I've never done that except for one. And we all know which one that was. And that was because I was threatened, with a log, basically. And he looked like a complete clown and a fool out there in front of the Wells property, and did not help the case one bit. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. And did not help the case one bit at all. It didn't help the Wells trying to get their children back nonetheless. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It was absolutely, utterly ridiculous. So, yes, there was some fault on my part. Did Jay do anything wrong? Probably not. And I'll go on and on the record and say, no, she didn't. It was something that was misread. I misconstrued it. The only other thing I said was there was some other comment on there. And I remember, and I'm like, great job, keep on pimping, or something to that effect. And she knew what I meant. And it was a dig. It really was a dig. And that was my fault. I do have, I am human. I do, but I did, just to let you guys know, while I was in her chat, she popped up on my live, and I popped in there and I was listening to what she was saying, and actually reached out to her and got her text message and told her that I'd like to clear the air with her. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole bunch with her. I'm not going to try to antagonize an argument of any fight. I truly do want to clear the air with her and see how we can move forward, because, we did cover Gabby Petito, and, it's just time. I'm just sick of the drama. I'm sick of all the craziness. Oh, yeah. That's all right, June. That's okay. I trust the moderators. They know when I come on later in the day that it is a lot harder than the coffee club. Even though I'm drinking coffee, this is far from being the coffee club. This is kind of a midday intro. So it's very sad. I'm getting tired of a lot of the stuff, and it's time to kind of bury hatchets and move forward so we can help these cases out. And the more, the merrier. And I don't see how these cases aren't being helped out. When we're divided, when a lot of the people that feel the same way are divided, we're not a united front. And in this case with Summer Wells, I feel that we need to be a united front across many platforms. If people want to fight us, that's fine, but we can expose why they want to fight us. It is my understanding that Tim Mullins, as well as Benny Keys, has contracts, legitimate contracts with Don Wells. And I'm just thinking, so it is his job, right? It's Benny Keys' job to come and bash people and try to get them to back off the Wells. I mean, he is the enforcer, so to speak. Like, a lot of people that deal with motorcycle gangs and stuff, they have enforcers, right? He is nothing more than an enforcer of this corrupt organization that Don and Candace Wells are the head of. The corrupt organization is the disappearance of their daughter and trying to keep themselves out of jail. And I'm sorry, even speaking to Benny Keys, we're on both opposite ends of this the argument. Have I gone out and bashed him? Of course not. I bashed him after he picked the fight with me first. Big difference, right? Big difference. So I'm hoping he doesn't continue to pick a fight with me. I don't see how that's any good, even if we're on opposite sides. At one point, we will be on the same team on another case, possibly, right? So why are you burning down the house? And, whenever there's no need, we're allowed to have differing opinions. If you believe that Don Wells and Candace Wells are innocent, by God, go out there and prove it. Go out there and get the get interviews, bring interviews to the public, showing that there's all these people that can attest to where Don and Candace were during the time of their daughter's disappearance. Go get some interviews and bring it to the public to show how many people love and care and support Don and Candace Wells. You're not going to get, we have literally 20 or more interviews condemning the conduct of Candace and Don Wells before, during, and after the disappearance of Summer. So, it just makes me, you're telling us that they're innocent until proven guilty. Okay. Well, show us. Because I'm telling you, our team has brought you guys interviews, has went out there and hit the dirt. We have pounded the pavement. We have went looking for her. We have brought everything to our content to you guys to make your own informed decision. Where is Benny other than his mouth? Where is it? You're not going to find it. You know what he does? He contracts people to come after me about my background, a 20-year-old background. Like, I have not been convicted of anything since like the early 2010. And if you want to speak to my attorney, maybe I need to bring him on this panel to tell you exactly what happened. You would be appalled. You would be appalled. Right? The only other charge that I have been convicted of it happened over 20 years ago. 20 years ago. So all that bullshit that they keep bringing up and Andrew's the strangler, well, show me the conviction. Right? You guys are all the ones that keep chattering those jaws about due process. I had due process, and guess what? Charges were never filed. They were dropped as a matter of fact. So how can you believe due process on one hand, but condemn it on the other hand? Hypocrisy. Right? Hypocrisy. So I'm interested in, what your thoughts are. I mean, you see us rolling out stuff. You see us rolling out interviews. You see us going to the people that were the closest to the Wells, the closest. Now, mind you, all the people that were close to the Wells before Summer went missing don't want anything to do with them. So also go back and think of your best friends. Okay. If something happened to your best friend's child and you started seeing some major behavioral changes that are suspect, wouldn't you yourself distance yourself from them? If you've been around and are best friends, like I can tell you, my best friend and I have been best friends for a couple decades or more. We know when each other's lying. We don't lie to each other. Even when we say we don't feel good and we don't want to talk, it's usually because we just don't want to talk and we call each other out, right? But if you had a best friend and their child went missing and you looked them in the eyes and you knew they were lying, wouldn't you distance yourself from them? If their behavior was that different from before their child went missing to after their child went missing, and you believe that their actions are suspect, wouldn't you distance yourself from them? So this idea that it's everybody else, but not Don and Candace Wells, everybody else, like how many people have we brought that were close to them? We have Dave Dotson that's not doing anything with them anymore. The church is separated from them. Allie and her entire family has separated from them. Hunter is no longer in the state of Tennessee. Jose has left and has nothing to do with them. I mean, the list keeps going on and it's growing. The neighbors want nothing to do with them. Every single neighbor that lives around them has distanced themselves from them, knows that they did something to that child. These are all the people that were in this inner circle of Don and Candace Wells that have now stepped fully back and said, we want nothing to do with you. And you know what Don and Wells rewarded them with? When they did that? Oh, I think they did it. I think they're the ones that took Summer. Had to have been them. Had to have been them. Go to the crack houses. Go to the meth houses. It's got to be them. Don't look over here. Nothing to see. Everybody's looking over here. What do I do? Oh, I know. Let's contract with a criminal mastermind. Put him under contract and some Looney Tune media guy. That's going to help me. He's my PR guy now. Now I'm real famous. But don't look over here. Nothing to see over here. It's all over there. Keep your eyes over there. When I talked to Don Wells the other night, he was talking about moving. That terrifies me. That terrifies me. He is talking about moving out of his home. Why? Cassie, to be honest with you, I was on the phone with Olivia. That gets back to the other conversation before I flip back to JS for Justice. So, as many of you know, some of this stuff gets really rough. It gets really hard. You know, you deal with a bunch of garbage. You guys watch it. I mean, you guys are watching it from all angles. You guys are on all these different channels. I personally don't go on these channels. I just happened to go on JS for Justice today, and I thought it was a very good program. And I did see Ernie come up. That's why I wanted Ernie to reach out to me. I wanted to give him some information. I have some information right up the alley of what he was talking about that I thought he might find interesting. I was just going to share it with him, just email it to him. I just wanted his email address. But then, of course, you know, I'm called lack of integrity and everything from JS for Justice when I'm you know, it was a little disheartening because in the grand scheme of things, I personally don't recall calling her out in public. I do have a private Twitter message that I sent to her before I blocked her. And I do have the clip of her bringing that up to her, you know, in her panel. That's all I have. You know, did I say something under my breath? Maybe, but it was so minute that I don't recall it. But to say I publicly bashed her, that's a little extreme. I never publicly bashed her. You guys have all my content. Somebody can go through all my video lives and check to see, you know, if I publicly bashed her. I don't think I did. If I did, I'm sorry. Plain and simple. So, yeah, Haley, I heard of Ernie and I heard of that operation, his organization. And quite frankly, everybody was telling me it was a bad organization that I never really, when he was on our channel and when we were just getting up and running, you know, I was so terrified of trusting anybody because everybody was, you know, I have trust issues, plain and simple. I really do. Like, you know, we had some issues on TikTok, but, you know, but it's crazy because these trolls, they're from a small group, but they cause so much damage, and you just got to block them out and not listen to them and cancel the noise, because that's all they are, is a noise and distraction. And it's sad. And it's sad that they sit there and scream due process on one hand, but here I went through due process, never was charged or convicted. I was arrested over a faulty and false affidavit. When it went to the investigators looked at the affidavit as a whole, looked at the evidence as a whole, and realized I was not at fault and dropped the charges. That is due process. That is going through the process. I started here and ended here. I wasn't even found not guilty. They dropped the charges within 7 days. That means there was no teeth to the affidavit in which I was arrested upon. Period. But I can guarantee you that when we look at like Cam's record, you see all the charges that I had listed as him being guilty. That means found guilty in the court of law. That means his due process. He was arrested. He went through the process. They found enough evidence. They prosecuted his case, and they found him guilty in a court of law. But they're hiding his guilty cases, but yet bringing my dissolved, not guilty cases to light as if I was convicted. You know what that's called? It's called slander. It's called libel. That's what that's called. Because if you're coming out here saying that I am convicted of these charges, you have flat out lied. And anybody that pulls have been verified can see clearly not guilty or dismissed. Right? So it makes you wonder if they know that these cases I was found either not guilty or they were dismissed. Why would they keep bringing them up? Why would they keep acting like they're this big deal? So you're saying that we need due process for somebody like Candace Wells and Don Wells. But here I had due process and cases were dismissed and found not guilty for, but I get slammed in the public? Why they get protected? Does that make sense? Makes you wonder why. Makes you wonder why. I was an abused woman. I was an abused woman for many years. Those were the kind of men I was attracted to. That means multiple from the child. You know what? As a matter of fact, I had abuse in my home from a very small girl all the way up to my 30s. My whole life has been abuse. I've been sexually assaulted as a young child. I was forcibly raped in my 20s. My case was never solved in my 20s. The detective handling my case actually died trying to solve my case. And so these people feel that attacking me is some kind of great thing. It's despicable. It's despicable because they don't like what comes out of my mouth. They now become the abuser. Because what they're doing is no different than what my exes have done to me for years. It's no different than what I dealt with as a child. What they are doing is deplorable. They're re-victimizing a victim, yet they're screaming that I'm victimizing people that have tortured their children. Makes you wonder why. So, in the grand scheme of things, do I have anything to hide? No. I've been an open book with my audience for years. Remember, this is not my first platform I've been on. This is not the first time I've had to face the things that have happened in my past. I can tell you it gets easier and easier every single time it's brought up. But every single case we take on, we have another Benny Keys or another burnt toast or another crude AF that thinks they're bringing something new and original to the platform and an aha moment. But they're not. Because every single case, we have somebody like them digging in our background thinking that this is like the biggest thing since sliced bread. It's not. Had I not been honest early on, it took me a long time to break my silence. When I started breaking my silence, it was back in 2018. Okay? Not too many years ago. I started breaking my silence about the life that I lived because I had to. I could no longer keep it a secret. I could no longer hide it from the eyes of the people. I could no longer continue to stuff the pain down and not address it, not deal with it. I had a lot of childhood trauma that I had to deal with. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I have been dealing with it the best that I can. Does it get to me some days? Of course, because you got to relive the violence. You got to relive it. You guys see my face. It doesn't get scarred up like this for nothing. I've had a rough life. A lot of it I caused myself because I didn't know why I was causing it myself. It's tough. But the strong will survive. It gives me the strength to deal with the hate. It gives me the opportunity to help others. It gives me an opportunity to share with people that have had a life like me or are going through some tough problems, whether it be drugs, alcohol, abuse, sexual abuse. I think seeing a strong woman that has crossed the fire and has made it to the other side and is free from having to anesthetize themselves every night just to be able to sleep. It gets hard. And people don't understand, they don't care, like, right? They think that beating up on a woman, through social media sometimes somehow makes them a big, strong, burly man. You know what you are? You're a little man. You're little. You can bring up my past all you want, but all you've got is an arrest record. Show your audience the conviction record. I double dog dare you. Double dog dare you. You can't say you're for due process, yet be against due process. Enough said about that. So anyways, we've been focusing a lot on Summer Wells. We've been focusing in an enormous effort on this 5-year-old girl. We have Summer's Army. Summer, we know what happened. Keep talking about it and keep bringing it to light. We never want to forget Summer. We never want to move past Summer. We want to keep her in the forefront. But the bottom line is, in my mind, I know what happened. I know who's responsible. It is all about law enforcement preparing the case to take the parents to court. Thank you. It's hard to say tits up. Thanks, tits up. Oh my goodness. Maybe my tits need to be up. I might be a happier woman today. 40s are not always that pleasant in that respect. They still look good. At least they still look good, right? But gravity's starting to take its effect. Anyways. But we know what happened. I was sitting there chatting with Jonathan, and I was saying, we really need to start looking at the maps and looking at, because we know that there was from 3:30 to about 5:30, there's a 2-hour window right there that we need to find out where Don and Wells were together. They were together. They were together between those hours. We need to find out where. We've heard a lot of things. We have a lot of assumptions. We do. We have a lot of assumptions. And I think we need to really be proactive. Oh my God. Oh, Sherry, thank you. That's not necessary. I appreciate all your love and support. I do. You guys are just amazing. It almost, anyways, I know that this stuff is hard. I know that, and me talking about my past and everything, it inspires other people to talk about their past. And you know what? It takes us women opening our mouths and letting people know that they're not alone for us to keep going through this. Because, even today when I was just like at my wit's end, I have 5 minutes with Olivia, right? I'm on the phone with her for 5 minutes and my whole mood changes. And, that's what women do for each other. That's the kind of connection that women have for each other, the impact that strong women and trust that we have. I mean, there's nothing better than flower power. I tell you what, I was one of those tomboys, and my best friends were mostly men growing up, or I shouldn't say men, boys. I mean, even from kindergarten, I remember my first best friend was Tyler Hoffman. Like I was just, I don't know. I wasn't really the girly girl, I never really gravitated to the girly girls. And it's weird because now that I'm older, I realize how important my connection with my girlfriends are, having those women, those other strong women in my life that really impact me. So at any rate, getting back to Summer, we love her. There's not a shadow of a doubt in my mind of what happened. It's just a matter of finding out where she's at. And it's not a matter of who did it. I have a clear understanding of what happened. Do I think Candace beat the crap out of her daughter and murdered her? No, I do not. No, I do not. I don't believe that. There's no evidence of that. But at some point, and the only reason why I'm going to keep summer in the forefront of these conversations is because I refuse to allow the evil to win. You're not going to shut me up. You're not going to tone me down. You're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to belittle me. You're not going to, I don't care what you do to me. I don't care. Do whatever you must. We have Summer's Army here, but she's not the only one. There are so many more children out there that need our attention and need our help. And we have built this amazing Summer's Army that is going to help many more children in the future. Just as Gabby brought to light domestic violence in a way that nobody had ever seen or thought of, Summer is doing the same thing for children. Which brings me to the next point of our Department of Children and Family Services around this country. They're overworked. They're underfunded. They don't have homes to pull these kids out of and send them to. Something has got to be done on a national level. As I was talking this morning, I brought up my mechanic. Lovely people. Everybody has their past problems, right? So there's no dispute that people, even good people that have never had any issues with the law and stuff still have their past problems. Nobody is perfect, right? Nobody can live in a glass house because that glass house will be shattered by somebody. And, the stuff that's going on in their life right now with a man that's around the husband's half's children, whacking his shit off, excuse my language, at a preschool or one of those kiddie daycares, those kid daycare centers, out in the front parking lot. That to me is a sexual deviant. And when you have CPS knowingly allow those children to stay in a home with a sexual deviant, there is a huge problem. I don't know what the laws are in each state, but I think we need to have standard governance across the board when it's dealing with these children. People in Michigan should have the same laws related to their kids and what is the cause for removal from Michigan as it is in Florida, from California as it is in New York. Why are these things not being done? These children are being injured. And then not only that, the background check of foster parents and people that take in this in group homes. Who's doing the investigation of these homes? Things are happening in these homes to these children. You're taking them out of one bad environment and putting them into another. This is not acceptable anymore. Just like we're tired of dealing with more Gabby Petito's, which I did shortly thereafter from Gabby Petito. I was out there on the scene covering Kathleen Moore. Sorry, my cousin's calling. Kathleen Moore. Same scenario, except her body was just in the backyard. I'm tired of dealing with Gabby Petito's. I'm tired of dealing with Summer Wells. Something has got to be done in this country. Enough's enough. I'm not sure how. And then, Harley, we got a sex trafficking trade that's going on in this country. But I can tell you that these people, like I could tell you out of 3 cases I dealt with, people keep throwing that they're sex trafficked. And you know what? All 3 of them ended up being dead. So we have to understand what sex trafficking looks like. And just because somebody disappears does not mean they're sex trafficked. The reason why I bring this up is because in many cases, people are looking in the streets for an alive person, but they're failing to see what's right in front of their face because the person is dead and probably in the backyard. You get what I'm saying? So we're focusing all of our attention way over here when it needs to be focused right here. So that's why I am very adamant about, talking to people that are in the inner circle of these things, and trying to find as much information as possible about them. In many cases, the families that aren't guilty, bring us in their home and tell us, everything about the victim, what they like, their favorite color. In the case of Kathleen Moore, she did have a background. Did it justify what she would? Of course not. Of course not. Your background never justifies that kind of trauma. but they were very honest about that. And I have to say that you get people that aren't, like Colin Knapp. He didn't want any part of us. He didn't want us around his house. Called the cops on us to try to remove us. That happened over at the Dirty Laundry's house. And that's happened over at the Wells house. What do those cases have in common? The people calling law enforcement on us, the people that are trying to bring answers, were guilty. There is a definite attitude and personality of an innocent person versus a guilty person. Their body language is different. Their attitude is different. Their speech patterns are different. There's a lot of differences between a guilty person and an innocent person, and the way that they conduct their business with people like me. So when people sit there and say, thank you, but these people are innocent, they're surely not acting like it. I've dealt with innocent people before. I've dealt with a lot of innocent people before. They are not. But I think the bigger conversation we need to have is about CPS, Department of Children and Family Services, whatever their vegetable soup name is in whatever state. That is the bigger conversation. That is the conversation each and every one of us need to be having. And that is where we need to sit down at a round table. That is where we can unify and come together and figure out how we're going to craft this messaging. So we can go to the United States and start demanding more funding. How much funding is pissed away going across the country, or out of our country and into other countries? Yet our own children were unfunded to take them out of abusive homes. Our government has got to start doing better across the board. This is becoming a major problem. And we're hearing it over and over and over and over and over again. My mechanics kids, the Cal City Boy kids, Summer Wells. Those are just the ones I could think off of. There's hundreds of thousands of children that aren't getting the attention they need because our people, our caseworkers, are spent. They're exhausted. They're overworked. They're underpaid. There's not enough funding for services for these children. The parents that are taking these kids in have children that have major psychological problems and no way of dealing with them. And it's causing a problem in their new home. So when are we going to have the global conversation of what we as society can do to put an end to this? We have to start doing more. And it goes well beyond Summer Wells. She is the face that's going to be driving this force. She's going to be the face that's going to be driving this force. But we have to do more. There's got to be more that can be done. So I think what we need to do, I know I've got a lot of people, you guys know you're part of my team. I trust and love you guys. I think we need to start looking in. If you guys want to start, I want to start broadcasting. I want to start bringing to light the atrocities going on in the Department of Children and Family Services, in whatever state. I want you guys to start sending me or start posting in here links to stories of children failed by the system. The only way we are going to stop this is exposing it. We need to expose the system. So we have to go past, Summer Wells. Are we going to stop fighting for her? Of course not. We're going to still talk about her. We're going to still talk about things going on in the case, but she's got to be the driving force behind this because I truly believe that it dovetails into Gabby Petito because it was domestic. It was the domestic aspect of it. Had it not been for domestic violence, had it not been for the drugs and the alcohol, this Summer would still be alive. So it's a portion of Gabby Petito and a portion of Summer Wells. And we've got to start driving this force. We got to start exposing what needs to be exposed. We need to start getting these stories out there, whoever they are, whether they're public, whether it's just a little blurb in a newspaper, because we know mainstream media, if it doesn't have stuff that gets the bite, that gets the advertising funds, they're not going to run with it. Because that's how sick mainstream media is. They will only run with what they're getting paid to run with. There's not a lot of foster parents out there. And then not only that, but some of these foster parents aren't properly vetted in some states. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, Sherry, you've been such a great supporter. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. But something's got to be done, and it's not just, I kept racking my head, where does Summer Wells go? What can we do positive with her? It's been such a negative, drama-filled case where you have enforcers, almost like criminal enforcers, coming here to take down channels and destroy people's lives because they want to be the ones that drive the message. And I'm going to say absolutely not. No more. You will not intimidate me. You will not break me. Bring it on. But what are we going to do with Summer's good name? And after thinking about it and pondering it and figuring out what positive can come out of this, it's exposing the system. It's exposing the system of corruption, of downright theft, of taxpayers' money for other meaningless things. And it's time to demand our government to do better. Our children's lives, our children's lives, children that we don't know deserve better. Their lives matter. Summer's life matters. Her brother's lives matter. All these kids of abuse, they matter. And this taking weeks and months and years to pull these children from these abusive homes that are filled with drugs and alcohol and sexual abuse and violence, enough is enough. And so why people are changing the focus on trying to destroy me, I'm going to change my focus and try to help the abused and neglected children. And we are going to craft some things moving forward in the days, weeks, and months ahead, not just to help Summer, but to help more children that are suffering just like Summer. People may have their, thoughts that she was sex trafficked. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to have an argument. I personally believe, based upon the information and evidence and fact finding that I and our team have done, that Summer is no longer alive and her parents are responsible. You don't have to mimic that opinion. You are free to think however you choose to think. But because I have went out there and did the legwork necessary to come up with that conclusion, it is time to fight back. And you know what? At the end of the day, when we look at all the facts, the system failed Summer. The system is failing children across this country each and every day. Yes, thank you. This is ridiculous. Attacking Ziggy. Now, mind you, I don't know Ziggy. Okay? There were some questions in some stuff that she played that Olivia prepared. Now, mind you, when Olivia prepares that is on her channel, but that is our team's work. Okay? She's almost co-owned it with the team. So it kind of hurts us as a team when somebody, does copyright infringement. It hurts the entire team, not just one member of the team. So there was some little issue. I know Ziggy, and this is what I like. Ziggy felt bad about it. She apologized publicly for it. She is a good woman. And for her to be thrown to the wolves again by these criminal enforcers of this small, tiny group that have coalesced around criminals, Don and Candace Wells, is disgusting and despicable. Those people know who they are. All I can say is, Ziggy, you need to get stronger, and you need to drown out the noise. We are all getting the hate. My mugshot has been seen across the entire planet. I'm still here. I'm still breathing. It did not take me out. And there's part of the problem. Ronnie Lawson, your officers had a duty to these children and failed. They should have been reported to DCS immediately. Your officers were at that compound entirely too much for some of the vicious crimes. Fathers getting taken away in handcuffs, children crying, brawls in the house, out in the driveway, in the camper. Parents calling you to demand you get their children off that property because there was alcohol being served to children, and nothing was sent over to the Department of Children's Services in your area. That was your failure. And I behoove anybody that's in the Rogersville, Hawkins County area, it is time for you to vote Lawson out of office. Somebody has to be held responsible for this. And it starts with one person, and then it goes to two, and then it goes to three. As we work through this issue, the first head that needs to come is Ronnie Lawson. You guys need to vote him out and find another sheriff that understands what law and order is truly about, applying the law equally. Don should have been in jail for multiple DUIs, and your officers allowed him to not be held accountable. What if he would have killed somebody? Shame on you. Hawkins County, we back the blue, but do better. There is a lot of money. For example, I live in Manatee County. Our taxes here in the county area, we collect over $1 billion in taxes. That's the county. Our school board also collects $1 billion from this little county every year. Every year. Right? $2 billion. Don't tell me you can't find money for our children. Cut the fat, cut the wasteful spending, and start doing right by the children. If we need more houses, group homes, start getting them built. And this needs to happen across every city in America. What's going on with these children? Listen, drugs and alcohol are rampant. They are. Things are happening to these children that no child should have to deal with or go through. And until all of us say we've had enough and all of us start getting to our board of county commissioners, our city councils, and start doing a grassroots effort on fighting for our children, nothing's going to change. They're going to keep spending and pissing away billions of dollars of our tax paid money. Now, mind you, each and every one of us, including myself, have to file taxes. We pay our government so much money that they just piss away. They send it over to Afghanistan, Pakistan, Mexico. Meanwhile, our children here at home are suffering. Our vets are going without housing and medical care. So it's not up to just me. This fight's not just up to me. It's up to each and every one of you too. What are you guys willing to do to fight for these children? What are you guys willing to really do to be part of Summer's Army? Because Summer's Army is going to be what drives this message home across this country. So while I realized I was in a really piss poor mood this morning when I came on, these are some of the things that have just been, I mean, look at that. There's some right there, like all my cases. And even under that, you'll see Kathleen Moore. And under that, you'll see Gabby Petito. My cases go up on my wall. I look at them every day I come in here. And don't worry, it's not going to be long before there's a new face up there. It's sad. It's sad. I was actually considering canceling my trip to Texas, but I have decided, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to, I am a political person, even though this is, I try to keep politics. Well, I mean, we're talking about politics right now, but it's, to help a united cause and a united front. But I've been kind of backing away from the political realm because I just don't want it to my beliefs to remove the focus off the victims. I'm willing to give up something that I love in an effort to help victims. And if many people know, I love politics. I love everything about it. I love going to the BOCC meetings. I love going to the school board meetings. It makes me feel like I'm making a difference in my community. I have put that all on the back burner for the victims that we're dealing with. And so I was actually not planning on going to Texas. And I have decided, you know what? People have taken a lot from me, and they're not going to take the little bit that I have left in my political realm. I don't bring it here. And as long as I don't bring it here and I stay focused on my victims, I should be able to still have a life outside of this. And I should still be able to believe, just like everybody out that's in my audience should be able to do what they want to do outside of this. So I have decided that I am going to go to Texas. I will be gone from the 28th through the 30th. As many of you guys don't know, I'm literally leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm heading to Louisiana. So it's like, I'm literally all over this country. I'm all over this country. I fight hard. I fight hard. Yeah. Sorry, I hit the wrong one. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. So if anybody would like to we're going to be thinking, I'm thinking that maybe, we just need to strategize, guys. We need to strategize. I got a lot of smart, beautiful people in this chat room. I need um, some suggestions. We need to have a roundtable. We need to have a brainstorming session on what we can do. Guys, start sending me your ideas. We've got to start protecting these children. And we need, whether it's a mail campaign, an email campaign, going up to the United States Capitol, marching, peacefully protesting, going to our state capitals. We need to start really focusing on what we can do as a collective body to help more children than this just summer. We have to. Otherwise, there are going to be so many more summers out there. And we're going to keep going through this process over and over and over again. We have to have stricter laws. These are children. These are the most innocent of innocent. It seems to me that, and somebody brought it up, that animals have more precedent than over human life. That's not right. People are attacking Ziggy over a puppy and trying to take the focus off Summer Wells. It's sick. Thank you. I see you. Yeah, don't ask me personal questions. If you want to know, go do your due diligence. Go do your research. Go look at my other videos. I'm not going to be talking. People that know me. People that don't, I won't. If you want to know me, do your due diligence, because I guarantee if I wanted to know you, I'd know every single thing about you. And I wouldn't have to ask you a damn question. Just saying. Just saying. Like if you lived in Greensville, South Carolina, I would know. Just saying. I don't have to ask anybody a question about their past or anything. If I want to know, I do the work to find out. Just saying. It's a great thing about America. It's called public record laws. Public record laws. Let's see what other things I can maybe give a tidbit about. Hold on here. Let's go back to the history here. Let's go back to the history. Oh, that's right. I wasn't on this way. I was on this page. Okay, so like if you live in Greensville County, South Carolina, or let's see what else we have. Or if your mom lived in Greenswood County, South Carolina, I think I would know. If I want to know anything. Oh my. So we've got somebody in here using profanity, using the N-word. I'm glad you know how to spell. Congratulations, you passed kindergarten. Aw, so cute. So cute. And they call me racist. Kimberly, I did too. I did hear that there were I don't know if it was after summer, but I believe it might have been after Candace. When she had Candace, I heard that there was a couple children adopted between the first set of kids and the second set of kids. I don't know how true it is. I can tell you we'll never know. The only way we would ever find out is if we met somebody that knew, because honestly, those records are sealed. So nobody would ever know that fully unless they actually knew somebody close to the family at that time that that knew them personally or had photography to prove that they were, that's really in all relations. And Carlos, again, No. Do you believe in due process? Because those allegations were found to be false. Carlos, do you realize that? The allegations were found to be false. False. It's called due process. But I guess you have to be a smart person to know how to do proper research, right? Just saying. So it's people like you that make yourselves look ignorant. You do that all by yourself. Yeah, I won't go illegal. I'll go completely by the book, legal on these people. You know, Alicia doesn't scare me either, Cork. She doesn't. She can say whatever she wants to say, but she's hiding behind a computer, right? I don't hide behind a computer. If I got a problem and I want to protest, you'll see me. You'll see my face. You will see me in living color. You will see me in living color, following the law under the Constitution of the United States of America. Oh, Cork, believe me, there's a lot of things that spin. But you know what? At the end of the day, they're taking the focus away from the victims. And I have so much work just on victims alone. Like even Summer, like we've got 5, 6, 10 more cases right behind her that we're still pondering on what to do with. Like we've got one in Okeechobee right now, Okeechobee, Florida, that the team is looking at and possibly going there. It's right in our own backyard. There's so many people out there that need our help. And you got these a-holes that are distracting from the great work we're doing because they're a-holes and got nothing better to do with their life except talk about me and my past, my past that went through, right? That went through all these different things. And guess what? Was found to be false. They could not charge me with the crime. Due process. Isn't that what they always use? This thing called due process? Well, I went through due process. Show me the convictions, buddy. Show me the convictions. It's called slander. There's a legal term for it. So why would I be protesting them when I have lawful legal means to handle my business? Right? At any rate, you know, whether it's Greensville or Greenwood or other counties that may be deserving of my attention. Thank you, Cork. We'll see. We'll see. But believe me, I always come with a constitutional attorney in tow. So thank you. It's rough. It's rough. I don't know. You know what? I don't really watch a lot of channels, and many know I've been going through some stuff here, so I've been focusing on work and stuff like that. So I haven't been paying attention. I did hear a little bit about Marissa letting Summer go. I don't know if necessarily mean if she meant, you know, letting her go. I think she just means that it's just time for another case. I don't know. I got to go back and watch that. But you know, even today, it's like I'm about to leave for Louisiana. When I get, you know, I'm leaving. I'm going to try to do lives. If you guys don't hear from me, if we don't have the coffee club, I promise you, I will try to come live. But you know, with it being my family, and you know, I try to keep my family off here and stuff like that. So it depends on how I'm feeling, if the family's with me or not. I may go live, I may not go live, I may have to adjust my timing a little bit, which I've been kind of feeling around with times anyways during the day. We've got like 533 people in here right now. Usually early in the mornings, I have anywhere between 800 and 900 people in here on good days, and about 500 to 600 people on not so good days. So I'm still playing around. It's all about getting the messaging out, and everything like that. But my little sister, she's a news reporter, and we're going to be celebrating her birthday. She's young. She's 18 years younger than I. And as she always says, she doesn't have sisters. She has 3 mothers. It's kind of true. But when she was younger, I used to go over there and pull her hair and pick on her and shove her and make her feel like she had a little sister that didn't like her and stuff like that. Yeah, well, he can keep streaming. He can keep streaming. It's not, I mean, we'll be handling him in due time. So we've already got things moving in that direction. So it's not, you got to remember, it's not YouTube that determines whether something is copyright or not. Only a judge can do that. So again, we will be, I'm not going to say any more than that. I've been asked not to. And we will continue to go down the avenue that we're going down. We're going down. And when they start realizing how serious this is, maybe they'll realize how serious it is. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Justice for Summer. Yeah, absolutely. Justice for Summer. We want Summer to be the forefront of this. We want to move this needle forward in Summer's honor. I think at this point, my mind's made up on what happened and who did it. And, I can't go out and arrest the people responsible. I can't take the people responsible to court. Only law enforcement can do that. But what I can do is I can make sure that Summers is a driving force behind major changes in the system, right? From law enforcement to the Department of Children and Family Services to a whole host of things that we can do in honor of Summer. Summer is a hero. She's a hero to her brothers. She was able to save them. And we have to look at her that way at this point. Will we ever know? Until Dawn and Candace breaks, we will never know where Summer's at. We're just not going to. There's so much vast area out there where they could have put her. We literally will never know unless they speak, or unless, God forbid, somebody's building a house or something and she surfaces. But we will never know what happened to Summer until her parents start talking, and they're not going to talk. They're criminals. They're hard stone, cold ice-veined criminals over decade-old criminals across multiple states. They are hardened. They know not to talk. They know to keep their mouth shut. They think it's going to blow over. They keep thinking that nobody can bring a circumstantial case, but I'm telling you, I've watched many upon many successful circumstantial cases. And it's just a matter of time. It's a very tedious process of putting all the pieces together so that there's not a shadow of the doubt that Candace did not aid her daughter when she was falling very ill. She called Dawn. Dawn met her. Summer disappeared. They've got to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. I have no doubt and all the confidence in the world that they will be able to prove that in due time. So now it's going off to, we can only talk about and argue who's at fault for this. I already know. There's no changing my mind. No matter how much they splatter or stream my channel and violate law that they do, nothing's going to change my mind about that. Nothing. So now what do? We've got to move forward. We can't stick here and just be stuck up on Summer Wells and her parents. We know they're guilty. We can only do what we can do. We're applying pressure to his employment. We're making his life very difficult. We are doing that right here from the state of Florida. Now, what can we do to honor Summer? What can we do to honor Summer? And the best way I have found right now to honor Summer is make her the face of change for the Department of Children and Family Services nationwide. This is a big, big task. This is not easy. We start going to have other cases to follow and other cases to cover, and we still have to stay laser focused on moving the needle forward so this doesn't happen to another child again. Is it going to happen? Of course it is. Of course it is. And it's sad. So all we can do is just keep working hard. As much as we don't like it, we've got to put down the swords on each other and realize how we can all move together in a unified manner and unify on a cause to help more children abroad. This is my olive branch, even to my enemies. We can start working together and really making changes so we don't have another summer, if you so want to. Or you can just keep clubbing me over the head and taking the focus off the major global issue here. Up to you. I don't really care. Yep. It's up to each and every person what they choose to do moving forward. And I'm talking to the YouTubers out there on the YouTube channels. You're not changing my mind that the parents are guilty. I'm not changing your mind that the parents aren't guilty. I don't care. Bottom line is this child was failed by the system. We can at least agree on that. So what are we going to do to fix it? All right, guys. Well, listen, it's been amazing. I'm glad you guys got to hear me just purge everything out on how I was been feeling, how, these cases do affect us on an emotional stage, an emotional, part of our lives go into this, a lot of our time, our energy, our sweat, our tears. We come up here and we can act like we got brave faces and stuff. And, this stuff does affect us. It does. And I can guarantee it's not for likes, clicks, subscribes. I've got sponsors. And I appreciate all the people that help support this channel. And I can guarantee that 100% of your donations go into this channel. One way or another, whether it's, buying stuff for the team, doing this, doing that, it's for the channel. And, but, I've been around the block for many years, politically and in these crime cases. And Eric, I got to tell you, it does get rough at times. And what we do is you just have to focus on how to make it better. And so I'm scratching my head here. I'm laying up at night. I'm staying awake. Last night, I didn't even go to bed until almost 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to figure out how we can make sure that Summer is not in vain. Summer's death is not in vain. I'm going to say it's her death because that's what I truly believe. I believe she's no longer walking this earth. I just want to make sure whatever happened to her wasn't in vain. How can we honor her? How can we truly honor Summer Wells? And the best way we can honor Summer Wells is making her the driving force for change across this country. That is the only thing I can think of that will not only be beneficial, but it'll be healing. We need to heal. All of us have been torn apart, emotionally. This is a heartbreaking case. And we have to try to find some healing. We have to find some healing. And we have to learn how to do it. And the way we're going to do it is by honoring her and respecting her and finding ways to help other children in her name. That's literally the only way. Yeah, he has. He's even said that to me on the phone multiple times. Yes, he is. We can agree on that. So, yeah. And Cork, I think it really is about exposing this. It's about exposing it and bringing it because there's a lot of stories and a lot of people that aren't in, the spotlight, that don't get the national recognition. And I think we need to start allowing them to have national. Everybody is getting off cable. These news organizations are becoming a dinosaur. What's becoming real is YouTube and the social media community. I mean, we hear more so than not things a lot quicker through social media. Like we'll hear a story come out, and then on the 5 o'clock news, we hear news finally come out with the story, right? So we really need to realize what a blessing social media is. I mean, it also has its downfalls, but for the most part, when it comes to news and getting stuff out there, this is becoming the go-to place. Oh, you know what I think? You know who I think Carlos is? I think it's crude. I think it's crude because he knows there's nothing he can do if I do step into South Carolina. Don't worry, crude. You're not on my shit list. Not yet. You're getting there. You're getting there. Like I said, I don't need to ask anybody anything about them. If I want to know something about you, I will know everything there is to need to know about you. Literally everything. I'll know where your children go to school. I'll know where your parents live. I'll know whether your grandparents are dead or alive. I'll know where your sister lives. I'll know where your aunt and uncles are from. I'll know where you're born from. I don't need to ask people about their past because I will have it in print in front of my face. So, again, I suggest you do your due diligence on me before you start running your trap. Just saying. Just saying. Still on that ex thing. So the people that scream about, you know what? My ex just came back into town, as a matter of fact. Maybe I should have him on the panel. Maybe I should put my ex-husband right up here in front of everybody, God and everybody. Then you guys will have nothing to say, right? That he was drunk and filed a false police report. Boy, that would really freaking just tank your strangulation argument, wouldn't it? Maybe I should. Then what will you have? Because many people think when you have an ex, you guys don't talk and you guys fight and all this, that, and the other. That's not the way it is. We had an amicable divorce. That would really blow these people's minds, wouldn't it? Maybe I'll ask them. I know. But they'd still talk. They'd probably say, "Oh, that's not him." Okay. Don't know who I was married to for a decade. That's not him. Okay. Yeah. Carlos, why don't you come on my page? Why don't I drop you a link and you come here and mask yourself? Show us who's really behind the curtain. Why not? What do you got to lose? Integrity, character, class? I think you've already lost it. Ball's in your court. You want me to go on your channel? Won't do that. Why don't you come on mine? See, that's the one thing. It's like even that person that was trying to act like they were Benny's mom wants to call me all these things, wants me to bring them on their channel. No, I won't go on your channel. You mean absolutely nothing to me, but I'll let you come on mine. Blair wanted to come on here, but he didn't. He wanted to come on here to try to publicly shame me, not talk about Summer. Anyways, looks like Cat got Carlos's tongue. At any rate, oh, king of all you, oh, Jesus, stroke yourself much. Well, good. Why don't you come on here? Let's talk about it. Let me drop you a link. Why don't you come on here? How would you feel when I bring the person I supposedly strangled on here, and he tells you that you're a damn fool and a lie, and that's why the case was dropped? He did just get back into town. I found out he just moved back here not too far from my house just a few days ago. It's kind of hard to talk about something that never happened. Hey, but if you said it did, it must have happened. Let me drop you a link, Carlos. And I won't let you come on here with that little circle thing. I want to see your face while you talk to me. When you address this woman, you're going to look me in my eyes. If you come on here with that little bubble, I promise you, you'll be booted right the fuck out. Let's hear what kind of horse shit you got to say. Link is being dropped. I'm not going to bring him on unless I see his face. I'll wait until he gets backstage. If he doesn't show his face, he's getting booted off backstage. If I show my face, you show yours. That's how we work. That's how we roll. You got something to say? Bring it. Let's talk. All right. Well, I was ready to go off. I've already stayed on 15 more minutes for you, Carlos. Show me your face. Come on my panel. Tell me all about myself and my history. Come on. Still waiting. Oh, I believe it. But he wants to talk about, you know what, Marissa, you know of all things, my ex is back in town, right? He wants to sit there and talk about me strangling. Guess what? I said, let me bring my ex on the panel. Shut him up. Well, I can honestly say it's been enough minutes, and I don't slow my chat down, that Carlos should have the link to come on here. And like I said, I would let him come on here and tell me all about myself as long as he or she shows their face. You guys watch me drop the link. Still nobody has showed up in my backstage. Just saying. All right, guys. Well, listen, without further ado, as many of you guys know, I am never, ever on here this time of the afternoon. Well, very rarely. It's been great. It's been fun. I've got to pack. I'm leaving tomorrow for Louisiana, and I hear it's cold. So I got to get some clothes washed. Can you believe I still have not washed my clothes from the trip to Tennessee? So I will be, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to go live. If you guys don't hear from me, I will be live tomorrow for the coffee club. I'm going to try to get that back at first thing in the morning. And then, when I get up there, I don't know how the internet is. I don't know anything about Louisiana. I'm not telling you where I am going in Louisiana, but I am going to Louisiana. I will be there for a week. And no, he won't, Molly. He won't. Dropped the link and everything. He had an opportunity to come and face me. He wants to call me a strangler, and he can't even tell me it to my face. Keyboard Nazi is what we call people like that. Cat got his tongue. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day. I will be back tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to have a lot more prepared for you. I'm going to have a lot more prepared, to start. I need people to start brainstorming. Let's have a conversation tomorrow morning about what's going on, what we can do for DCS. Marissa, somebody's asking about Princess. Did you want to come up and just, we're going to be winding down, but did you want to come up real quick and just give an update on Princess? Oh, he has 400 accounts. My word. My word. Well, anyways, I'm sure I'm just going to wait and see if I know the stroll's a little bit low. I didn't want to block you off after offering to bring you up, but I'm pretty sure you're probably going to be going live here soon. But I don't know who that guy is, but no, I'm at the hospital. Oh, shit. Okay. So it doesn't sound very good. And he's been going in and out. I'm sorry to hear that, hon. I really am. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I've got a lot of stuff. I do feel better than the first live I went on. Boy, I tell you what, I was in such a funk, but being around you guys kind of pulls me right out of it. Purging, some of the stuff that, has been going on and just speaking about it vocally, publicly, and just really does help. And everybody, please take a moment today, say a prayer for Princess. And say a prayer for Marissa, which is helping him and has been a true supporter and has always been by his side. The caregiver, so to speak, also needs the prayer and love and support as well. So please say a prayer for both of them today as they walk through this, and hopefully everything turns out well. But Marissa, you and Princess are in our prayers. So I love you guys. I think you are all beautiful people. I want to thank mostly the moderators. I know you guys have a very hard task, in here, especially this time of day with all the crazies, but I do appreciate everything and all your hard work that you do each and every day that we're on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I know it's not easy. I get a lot of backlash, but that's okay. We survive. This too shall pass, and we forge ahead. I love you guys. I'm gonna let you guys say your goodbyes before I kill the entire feed. Have a great day.